Hi, my name's Ollie and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we're going to go over the basics of eToro and show you how to open and close a trade or buy an asset and then close that position out. If you enjoyed this video, then I'd really appreciate an early thumbs up as it really helps the YouTube algorithm, and please consider subscribing to my channel. Please note the information in this video is not intended to be investment advice, and if you want investment advice, you should seek a licensed professional. Also, past performance is not indicative of any future results. Now I'm going to break this video into sections, so if you want to skip ahead then feel free, but I advise you stick around as you may pick something up along the way anyway. Now I'm going to present this video using my virtual account. Anyone who signs up will get given a free virtual account where they will give you $100,000 of fake money to play with. Now this is great to understand and see how the platform works and to test out some of your ideas. And unfortunately you can't cash out the $100,000. If you could, I would be going to buy a Tesla straight away. If you haven't signed up to eToro and are considering signing up, then there is an affiliate link down below this video, where if you do sign up, I will get a kickback, and it doesn't cost you anything extra, but it helps support this channel. So if this is your first time logging into the platform and are going to play around with eToro, you need to make sure that this button up here is set to virtual. Otherwise, if you set that to real, you will be placing real trades. So you can see there it's ticked, so we are quite clearly on the virtual account. If you were on the real account, then if you wanted to place a trade, one of the first things you would have to do is to deposit cash. So to do that, you would click this big button down at the bottom that says deposit funds. And then in here, you've got a load of different options of ways you can fund your account. You will see at the top here that there is an FX. Now, eToro holds all of your money in US dollars. So at the point you deposit your cash, it will be FXed into US dollars, and there is a minor charge that comes with this. If you want to know more about that, then I've got a video all about the fees on eToro, which I'll post a link to either up here and down here. But the rate you get is generally pretty good. But this is something that you should also bear in mind depending where you are in the world and how FX rates change. Even if your assets are doing very well in US dollars, you've always at some point got to cash it out to your native currency. So your profit and loss calc on eToro will be based in US dollars. But then because of currency fluctuations, your actual profit and loss in your home currency may make that overall profit in your home currencies different. So this is worth bearing in mind. So when you first log in, you'll be presented with this dashboard here. Now we'll go through each of the screens. So this is your watch list. Now a watch list is a way of tracking assets that you are considering maybe buying in the future, or you just want to keep an eye on, or you don't want to forget about. This list may be pre-populated when you sign in for the first time. I know it was when I signed up 4 years ago. Now I don't know if they've changed how that works, but you can quite easily add or remove assets from this yourself. So say for example, I want to remove Apple because I'm not interested in that. We can go, and then if we want to add something new in its place, we can just go add, and we're going to go stocks, and we're going to go industry, and we're going to go financial, and we'll say let's sort of add JP Morgan in there. And now you can see JP Morgan down at the bottom here. Now you can create multiple watch lists. There is a max number of assets you can add to a watch list. So here you can see I've got a handful of watch lists. We can create a new one here. I'm going to create another one called Tech Companies, and we'll call it Tech Companies 2. Create that list, and in here we can just go add stocks, industry, technology, Google, Facebook, Microsoft, Zynga, and there we go. And then now you can see all of these stocks in here. You can add in even people in here, or cryptos, or CopyPortfolios. Basically any asset on the platform you can add into here. So if we just go through this quickly from the left to right. So you can see here that Google has gone up 3.8% since the last closing price. So it's gone up by 66.19 US dollars. And there's a little graph which just kind of shows the movement. And then next to it, we've got the buy and sell prices. So these will flash when they change. And then to the right of that, we've got the 52-week range, which shows that the lowest point Google has been, it was 1,012.09, and the highest it's been is 1,845.18. And then to the right of that, you've got this sentiment, which kind of shows what users of eToro are currently doing with this asset. So it says 15.23 of our investors invest in Google, 99% of them have buy positions, and an increase of 0.24% from the last trading day. So it's just a little bit of info to show what's going on currently. And also, as you can see, this is currently set to 1D here, which means 1 day. If you want to change that to see how much this has changed in a week, you can click it, and then you can also change it again to 1 month. and you'll see that these values have changed here. So then you may want to drill into one of these assets. So if we say, let's click on Google, there's multiple ways to drill into an asset. Clicking on it here is one of them. You can also search for any asset up here, or people. So you can see by me typing Goo, it's got Google, and it's also got these guys good going. But once you're here, we're on Google now. First page you see is the feed, and this is similar to any other social network, just kind of like Twitter or Facebook. And you can see what people are talking about in regards to this asset. And if you want to join in, then all you need to do is use the equivalent of a hashtag, but they do it with a dollar tag. So if you wanted to start discussing it on the platform, you could talk about it using the ticker symbol with a dollar symbol on the front of it. Now, some of these ticker symbols do differ to ticker symbols off of eToro, so that's something to bear in mind. And if you don't know what a ticker symbol is, it's the code that you get for each asset. So Google is Goog. If we go back to here, then Tesla is TSLA, and Apple is like AAPL, and so forth. But yeah, if you like something or you want to comment on someone else's post, you can do this in here, or if you want to share something, it's just similar to a social network. So then if we move on, so key things to pick up on this page are, A is whether the market is open, which you can tell by this part up here. Now you can open a position when the markets are closed, but it won't actually place until the market opens. And if you want to see market times, you can open up this page here, and I'll put the link in the description. And in here, it shows you that you can trade cryptocurrencies 24/7, stocks and ETFs. It shows you the times of when they open. Now, because I'm in the UK, it says it opens on 2:30 on a Monday. I presume this would change if you were in a different country, and it would give you your local time, and I'm guessing it probably works out based on your IP range. But if we flip back to this, then you can see here, this is the current price. And also, again, this is how much it has changed since the last closing price. So it's gone up 17.88, and it's gone up 2.16 since the last closing price. Also, if you're ever wondering why a trade may not have opened, it's worth bearing in mind that other countries may have a bank holiday and you may not have one. Again, these are listed at the bottom of this page here. So like I said before, you can create trades when the market's closed, but the trade won't be placed till the market opens, and the price can differ quite considerably by the time it opens. So we've got some additional pages here. Each asset generally has these first three, and I'd say 90% of them have this research tab on the end also. So we go into the stats. So this just gives you an overview of the statistics of the asset. So we've got a nice graph here, which you can change, and you can see over time that this has gone up quite considerably. If you're starting out, probably a lot of these may not make sense to you, but over time they will. So there's certain things that you'll be interested in as you progress as a trader, such as the market cap, the 1-year return, the earnings per share, the PE ratio, dividend yield, things like that. And I won't touch on those in this video, but I potentially will in a future video. And if you scroll down here, you've got lots of info in relation to the financials of the company that or asset that you're looking at. And also on some of the assets, eToro gives a nice little profile at the bottom about the company itself. So you will learn there's not just one thing that will form the basis of you placing a trade, but there's lots of different things that will help you make your decision of whether investing in an asset is the right thing to do. So the next tab is the chart tab. Now, if you're starting out, it may be easier to put this on like a line or mountain graph, where you can just generally see how the stock has gone up. If you want to adjust the time frame, you just do it via that. If you want more information on how the charts in eToro work, I've got another video which I go into depth on the subject, so I'll post a link to that up here and in the description below. But generally speaking, with a chart, you've got time along the bottom and the price along the right. So if you're buying an asset, you want it to be going up and to the right. But obviously if you're shorting where you're wanting the market to go down, you want it to go the other way. And then if we're done looking at that, we can move on to the research tab here. So this research tab may be a bit much if you're just starting out, but it will help you make better investment decisions. So if we just go through these quickly, you can see generally the analyst consensus is 26% are saying it's a buy right now, 52% are saying hold, and 22% are saying sell. So the general overall average is to hold. And you can see that this is based on 27 analysts offering recommendations for Tesla in the last 3 months. And then to the right of that, we've got the analyst price target. Now, Tesla's one of these stocks which the analyst price targets vary wildly. So up at the top here, we've got a high estimate of 950, and down at the bottom, we've got a low estimate of 40, with an average price target of 549.63. And then down below this, we've got the analysts that have made this graph or chart here. So if you want to read more in depth about why they think their price target is $950, you click on that article here, and then you could have a little read of that. And then if we scroll down, you can also see hedge fund activity in relation to this asset, and you can see whether hedge funds are bought or sold, and you can see the number of shares held by hedge funds over time. And there's just a general hedge funds increased holdings by 228.8 thousand shares in the last quarter. And there is generally a positive sentiment based on 199 hedge funds in the last quarter. And then down at the bottom, we've got insider transactions, which shows people in the company who have shares already, whether they bought or sold them in the last quarter. So you can see here that a lot of insiders sold Tesla shares in the last quarter. You can see the amount that people have sold here. So they've sold $8 million worth. There is a lot of stuff you could buy with $8 million worth. You could buy a house or even a yacht. I mean, there is any number of reasons why these people are selling these shares. So now, once we've reviewed everything and we come to the conclusion we would like to place a trade. So to do that, there's lots of different areas around the platform. You can get to this trade screen again. If we want to trade, we press this trade button here. So basically the first two settings you see at the top, if you're starting out, I would avoid going for a sell. Basically a sell means you are expecting the price to go down, and it's a way to make money when a price is going down. But something to bear in mind with this is if the price goes in the opposite direction, it can go up infinitely. So that's why I would stick away from them if you're just starting out until you've learned some more. If you would like to learn more about that, I do have another video on that subject, which I'll post a link to up here and in the description below. We're going to concentrate on the buy trade for today. So a buy trade means we want the price to go up, and by the price going up, we will make money. So the top bit is the current price, and again, as we've mentioned before, the bit to the right of the price is what is changed in the past day since the last closing price. And then we've got basically two options here. We've got an order or a trade. So if we start with an order, basically, an order is the same as what a limit order is on other platforms, and trade is the same as a market order on other platforms. So order means we want to place a trade, but at a price that we are happy for the trade to go through at. Now, currently the price is 841.20. We may say we want to place a trade if it reaches, let's say, 820. And then we've got below that, we want to place a trade for $1,000. And we can also, if we wanted, we could change this to units here. Units is the equivalent of shares. So you could say, it will do the calculation yourself. So $1,000 currently equals 1.22 units. And if we would change that to 2 units, you'd see that it's 1,640. So now we're basically saying, if the price reaches 820, then we want to buy 2 units of Tesla. Now, one of the great things about eToro is that you can place orders for partial or fractional shares. So you could even say you want to do 1.56 of a share, but we're not going to do that for this video. So if we just put this back to $1,000, we can see that it's going to buy 1.22 units. So down below here, we've got a couple of other settings. We've got leverage and take profit and stop loss. So if we start on the left here with stop loss, so stop loss is basically the point you want eToro to cash out your trade on your behalf if the price is going down. Now, I've done a video on this in depth because there's more to it than I'm going to go into in this video. So again, I'll place a link to that up here and down here. But that video goes into depth about stop loss and take profit and trading stop loss and these other things. But for now, I'll just give you a basic overview. Stop loss is basically the point you want eToro to cash out if it's going down, and take profit is the opposite in that it's basically the point you want eToro to cash out in profit wise. So in short, the rate is the price at which you want to close the trade, and then if you were to flip this over to the amount, then that would be minus $24, and then the amount is a negative number of dollars you're willing to lose before selling the asset. The rate you should set depends on a number of things. A, how much money do you want to lose? And also, different assets have different volatility. So for example, if you were trading cryptocurrencies, they can change by like thousands in a day. So invariably this is up to you, but there is often ways you can use to decide a sensible point to put a stop loss, but I'm not going to touch on this in this video because that's very in depth. But if you go check on YouTube, there's loads of content on that. Yes, but surprisingly that's not one of my videos, but maybe that will be one in the future. So for now, I'm just going to set this as if I lose $50, I want to cash out. And then take profit, again, it's the opposite. So I may say if the price reaches 1,000, I want to cash that out. Again, this will do the conversion. So if I was to click amount, that would mean I would have made $219.51 of profit. But again, you can just choose which way you want to do it. Now, take profit and stop loss can be changed once you've taken out a trade, but some of these other settings can't. So for example, leverage you can't, the amount you can't once the trade is placed, and if it's an order for a specific price, if it doesn't execute, you just have to cancel the trade and then re-key it in for a different rate. Now this bit in the middle here, leverage, if you're starting out, I would highly advise that you do not play around with this, because basically you're trading with money that you're borrowing from eToro, and you can make a lot of profit, but at the same time, you can also lose a lot of money. So at the moment, we're on ×1 here. As you can see, we're saying place a trade for $2,000 and our exposure is $1,000. But if I press that to ×2, it's now saying that our exposure is $2,000, and what was 1.22 units is the equivalent of now 2.44 units. So it would be as if you've got a trade for $2,000, but you only came along with $1,000. Now you can make a lot of money using this, but you've got to remember, if the price goes in the opposite direction, you can lose money just as quick as what you would have made the money. And also, as you can see here, it now says it's a CFD trade, and high leverage means high risk. So they are telling you outright there that it's more risk towards yourself. And as you can see, it also comes with a fee. So this will also add up and start taking a toll on your balance as well. So daily, that's 36 cents, and over a weekend, it's $1.09. As I said before, there's a video that I've got on fees, which I can put a link to up here and in the description. But if you're starting out, I would highly advise that you don't use leverage. Even as someone who's been on the platform for multiple years, I never use leverage, and I personally don't like trading with money that I don't have, because I don't want to lose money that I don't have. But again, I've got another video on leverage which goes into a lot more depth than what I'm touching on here. So if you want to check that out, then I'll put the link up here and down below. Now, I would always suggest before you place a trade that you review that you are happy with your trade, because if it's a real account, and even if it's an order or a trade, it could execute straight away. And if you've done something wrong, then it may come at a cost. So if we put, say, set order here, so now that says buy Tesla order placed at 820. Now, if we go to my portfolio here, you will see down at the bottom that I've got a pending order here. Now, this is because I set it that I want to execute at 820, and I did actually choose leverage, I didn't mean to do that. And the current price is 840. So because this hasn't opened, you can just cancel this here. You can only ever do this on trades that haven't executed straight away. So I'm just going to cancel that and then press cancel order there. Now, if we go back to Tesla, and you may have noticed I typed the ticker there rather than TESLA. You can type either and it'll take you to the same place. So now, if for example, we go back here and we do the other option, rather than pick a limit order, we're going to go for like the equivalent of market trade here. And we're going to say, I want to put in $1,000, and that will get me 1.19 unit. And you may notice that that has changed since before, because the price is constantly changing of this asset. And we're going to say, I want to set a stop loss of $400, and I'll take profit if it reaches $2,000. And then you may also notice down here, you've got the option for no TP or no SL. So that means no take profit and no stop loss. And so no take profit would mean it would just keep on going, and then you can close it manually yourself. And no SL means it won't ever cash out if the price is dropping. Trading stop loss, just a quick overview. Again, you're probably better off watching my video, which goes in depth on this subject. But a trading stop loss, as a general quick overview, say you've got a price of an asset that's 1,000 and you buy $1,000 worth of it, and you've got a stop loss of, I don't know, say minus 300. If the price of that asset goes up to 1,500, your stop loss will move up with it, and then if, say, the price starts coming back down, it will cash out at a point below it. But again, I'd go into this more in depth in my other videos, so if you want to go check that out, then please check it out after this video. So I'm happy with this, and I'm going to open this trade, and now you can see buy Tesla position opened. Now if we go back to my portfolio, there is a lot of other trades in here because I've been playing around with this for a while, and you can see that I now have a Tesla position that has opened in my portfolio. So while in here, you can see lots of information in relation to the trade itself. You can see that I've opened it with 1-time leverage. That's the opening price I opened the position at, the number of units I got, the amount I opened up, how much it's fees. There is no fees if you're using 1-time leverage on a stock, but again, if other assets have different kind of fees on them, so it's worth checking out my other video. And then you can see that even in a few seconds, my trade has now got a profit of 0.02, or in dollars, it's like around 20 to 10 cents. Now, a couple of things here. If you click on the settings, as I mentioned before, there is a couple of things you can adjust in here. You can't adjust the leverage, but you can adjust the stop loss and the take profit. So I may say, well, I now think this is going to go up to 3,000, so we'll update that. If you had multiple trades in the same asset, they would also all be listed under this one page here. Now, say for example, your take profit or your stop loss hasn't hit, but you may decide that you want your money now. So you may decide you want to close this trade out yourself because, I don't know, now it's in the red. You may say, I'm scared that I'm going to lose money. So what you do is you press the X here, and this is to close trade here, and you can close trade there, and you will get your money back into your balance. And you can see that my Tesla position was closed. Now, this is not to confuse it with the sell position on a trade. So if you've got a trade open already, you do not go here and press sell. You go to your portfolio, find your trade, and then you can close it out via that method there. So yeah, the portfolio screen, it just gives you a general overview of all the assets that you hold or the people that you're copying. So you can see the general profit and loss in percentages and in dollars, and you can also see current prices in here. As you can see, I have quite a lot of random stuff in my virtual account. So if we carry on down the left-hand side, we've got a general news feed here of what people are talking about on the platform. Then we've got this discover section here, where if you click trade markets, you can see lots of different assets on the platform. So you've got your stocks, your ETFs, cryptos, indices. So you can drill into one of these. So you could say ETFs and have a look at what they've got here. If you're starting out and would prefer someone else to manage your portfolio for you, then copying people may be the way to go. This is the way I started out before I learned how to trade myself. So you would click on this copy people button here, and then you can have a look at all these different people here, and you can filter it in any number of ways. If you don't know what copy trading is, if you copy this person, say Simone here, and say he puts 20% of his balance into Tesla, then you've copied him with $1,000. It will put 20% of the amount that you've copied him with into Tesla also. So you would end up placing a trade for $200. So this is really great for beginners, and this is definitely one of the selling points of eToro. If you wanted to learn more about copy trading, I've got a couple of videos on the subject, so I'll post a link to it up here and in the description below. Now, also in this discover section, there is an invest in copy portfolio section. So again, this is quite good for beginners. They do have a minimum amount of money that you can put in. So it used to be $5,000. I think some of them now are $2,000. And these are basically a portfolio management product, and investing in copy portfolios will automatically copy multiple markets or traders. So you could invest in, I don't know, if you believe in renewable energy, you could just invest in this. And by doing that, you would invest in these stocks here. So you can drill into it and you can see which stocks it's investing in. And so you'd get exposure to all of these. But yeah, there's loads of them in here, so it's worth having a little nose around if you're new. But if you're starting out with trading, you should always diversify your portfolio, and I would not recommend putting all of your money in one stock or share. You should put it over a different number of shares, even different assets. So maybe put some in crypto, maybe put some in currencies. I'm just throwing out ideas here, but the reason for all this is to try and protect your balance. So for example, if you've got lots of technology stocks and then the technology market goes down, then maybe you have automotive stocks which are doing well, or the travel industry, which will balance your portfolio out. So it's to try and balance your portfolio if a whole sector starts going down for any reason. But that's not to say that this couldn't happen anyway. For example, at the start of the Rona in March, everything just tanked and went down. So as always, only invest what you are willing to potentially lose. Also, we've got some other things down the side here. Club dashboard is just in relation to the amount of money you have on the platform. Invite friends, obvious help. Any questions you got, I would check it out in there. And a guide, also check that out. And also another key one is withdraw funds. If you want to remove some of your funds from the platform, you can do that via here, but you've got to remember there is a fee for withdrawing your funds. I personally like to keep my money on the platform because of the compound growth that you will get over time. But obviously you may need to cash out your money at any point and for any reason. So that is where you would do that. So all the links from this video I will put in the description below. If you've liked this video, then please give it a thumbs up, as it really helps support this channel. Also, as I mentioned earlier, if you're interested in signing up to eToro and haven't signed up already, then there is a link in the description below where if you do sign up, I will get a kickback, and it doesn't cost you anything, but it helps support this channel. And if you're not sure about the platform, then I believe you can sign up and just play around with a demo account without actually depositing any real money. So why not give it a go, and then you can experience all the features like copy trading and learn how the platform works and learn how to trade beforehand. If you want to learn more about the eToro platform and trading and investing in general, then I've got a whole host of other videos on my channel. So I recommend you go check it out, and please consider subscribing and press the bell icon so you get notified of any new videos. It's been Ollie from Get Geek Finance. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.